Welcome to another Demarcation Media Mega Construx review. Today we are going to be committing heresy and taking a look at Sesa Refumee. We have two versions right here. We have the Halo Heroes, I think it was Series 9 version, and then we have the 20th anniversary version. So we are going to take a look at each one separately and then get a closer look at them side by side. So let's go ahead and start with the Series 9 version. Alrighty, so we have the dual plasma rifles, which are a bit big and bulky. I know they're upside down. You're supposed to have them like that, but they don't fit real well in the hands. You have to have the arms like completely straight. So I always put them upside down. But yeah, we've got two of these because that was Sesa's weapon of choice. And then the figure himself is actually very detailed. This was one I passed on back when I first started collecting Mega because I had no clue really who he was. And I didn't even really know how to properly look at elite faces. I didn't know what his face was. So I passed on him, and that is why Megabirb provided this figure. So a big thanks to him. Chest plate is printed very nicely. We've got some green lights, some kind of orangey highlights. We've got the mask up here. No eye print, but it fits around the head. And we got the little breather tube. Kind of looks like a pacifier that fits in his mouth. It pops out pretty easily, but it also goes back in pretty easily. The shoulder armor has some silver on it, and the forearms have red print, which is nice. Oops, didn't want to bend his arm backward. Legs don't have any print, but the mold there is fantastic. Just standard elite lower legs. The back, actually the whole chest plate is pretty much exclusive to Sesa. And then the back piece is actually a handful of different parts. There's this purple thing, which if you were to pull this off, the purple would come out of the red. So we can have the big jump pack get up, which looks very nice. I like the thrusters here, and then we got the thrusters on the purple. The purple has some green printed in the vents. Overall, this guy is a very well done figure. He represents the character in-game pretty nicely, and honestly, if Mega had never made another Sesa, this guy probably would have been pretty satisfactory. But they decided, they decided to not only make another one, but then they decided to do another one after the 20th anniversary one. So we'll have to do another comparison eventually. But for now, let's go ahead and go take a look at the 20th version. And here is the 20th version of Sesa. Again, he has the plasma rifles. They're a slightly different color this time, but they're the same piece. And then we have all of the same like actual parts. So there's no new molds or anything, but we've got some eye print now for the little goggles. The chest has pretty comparable print. We got the yellow highlights again. We got some green. We got some blue. Once again, that awesome elite leg armor reappears. We've got the silver again. The forearms are painted and they've got silver as well. And then the jetpack is very noticeably different because it is gray now and we have brighter green vents. So this guy is a pretty sharp difference, and there will be an even sharper difference once we get them side by side. But this guy is very nice, and the fact that he's got eyes finally makes him desirable to get even if you already have the Heroes version. So here they are side by side. Here are the rifles. It's a little hard to see, but these are more of a silvery blue while these are more of a flat purple. Well, not really blue. It's still purple, but it's got the blue and silver tint to it. Now, the first thing I noticed when looking at these two side by side is that the red shade is completely different. This version is very red. He's kind of a shinier, or more like typical metallic red, the one we're used to seeing. This one is almost an orange. It's like a pale, faded red, which is very interesting. I'm not sure which color is more accurate, but it's very cool. I think I like this version better, but I'm not sure which one's more accurate. The chest print is different. We got more blue up here, whereas we've got the blue printed in the lines here. So that's interesting. The jetpacks are very different. The forearms for the Heroes version doesn't have the silver. Excuse me. And the eyes are not printed. There they are around the back. Now, there's something that I noticed This guy's head seems to be able to be raised higher than the new version. Let me see. Can I get them lined up right? Make sure keeping the chest plate straight. Yeah, it looks like the old Sesa's head moves up higher. I'm not sure why that is. Now, I'm going to do what I do every time I come across one of these weird things. Oh, I think it's actually the elite head. It is. Something about this particular head works better to get a higher pose on the neck. I'm not really sure if that's a purposeful thing or just kind of a mold gets changed over time sort of thing. But it is not another instance of the whole Carter-in-Chief neck joint changing. Very interesting. Let's get in closer to see those faces. And this guy doesn't want to stand up now. So here we go. You can see the chest print a little bit better. Neither one is like superior, I would say. They're both really good. They're just different. The heads, however, the mask is superior. The one with the printed eyes, that is a lot better. But yeah, they're so different. They're so different. I would have to... I never think to look at pictures of the in-game characters before I start these reviews, so I never know if which one's more accurate. I kind of would venture to say the 20th version is probably more accurate, but I can't say for 100% sure. Very interesting. So which one of these two figures is the better version of Sesa? Now, anything I say here is probably going to be rendered obsolete by the fact that Arbiter's Quest is a thing and is coming out in 2022, this coming up year. I don't know when this video is going to come out. It might already be 2022 by the time this video comes out. But yeah, this whole conversation right now might be rendered obsolete because of the newest version of Sesa. He might just be the best one out of all of them. But for now, between these two, I think the 20th version wins out. Because of the eyes, purely because of the eyes. If this version had eyes, it would be, I think, pretty much a dead even toss-up between the two. Because this version is great. He's got a ton of stuff going for him. He's got almost print for print the same as the new version. Only thing he's lacking is the silver on the forearms and the eyes. And the eyes really is what does it for me personally. I think that really helps his face be more visible. And the new color of red, I think, is a little bit nicer. Matches maybe a little better the Halo aesthetic. But it's really... both of them are perfectly fine. Like, if you have the Heroes version, you really don't need to track down the 20th version unless you just want the eyes. And if you want the eyes that bad, just get a yellow paint pen and paint pen them on yours. That way you can avoid searching for the 20th pack. Or if you have both, because it is Sesa and he has a habit of, making holograms of himself, you don't really need to get rid of one. You can just have one be a hologram. Sure, they don't match exactly, but that works. I mean, heck, if you wanted to, you could just army build the Sesas with the new Arbiter's Quest, and you can have a whole bunch of holograms. So yeah, overall, I think the 20th version is better because of the eyes, but it's really not much of a leap from one to the other. They're both pretty comparable. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.